Act 3, Scene 4, the closet scene. This scene is one of the most intense and psychologically complex in the play. It marks a major turning point, as Hamlet's actions have irreversible consequences. Scene IV. The Queen's Closet. Enter Queen Gertrude and Polonius. Lines 1 to 9. Polonius and Gertrude's plan. Polonius. He will come straight. Look, you lay home to him. Tell him his pranks have been too broad to bear with, and that your grace hath screened and stood between much heat and him. I'll sconce me even here. Explanation. Polonius gives Gertrude instructions. He tells her to be blunt, lay home to him, with Hamlet, and to tell him that his behavior has gone too far. He reminds her that she has been protecting him from Claudius's anger. Then, he hides behind the tapestry. Aras. Gertrude. I'll warrant you. Fear me not. Explanation. Gertrude assures Polonius that she can handle the conversation. Enter Hamlet. Lines 10 to 33. Hamlet's verbal attack on Gertrude. Gertrude. Hamlet. Thou hast thy father much offended. Explanation. Gertrude begins the conversation by scolding Hamlet for offending Claudius. Hamlet. Mother, you have my father much offended. Explanation. Hamlet immediately turns her words back on her. He is not talking about Claudius, but about the late King Hamlet. Gertrude. Come, come, you answer with an idle tongue. Hamlet. Go, go, you question with a wicked tongue. Explanation. They continue to spar, with Hamlet accusing her of being wicked for her marriage to Claudius. Gertrude. Have you forgot me? Hamlet. No, by the rood, not so. You are the queen, your husband's brother's wife, and, would it were not so, you are my mother. Explanation. Gertrude asks if he's forgotten who she is. Hamlet responds with a series of cutting definitions. She is the queen, her brother-in-law's wife, and, reluctantly, his mother. Gertrude. Nay then, I'll set those to you that can speak. Explanation. Gertrude is now frightened, and threatens to send someone to speak with him, likely Claudius. Hamlet. Come, come and sit you down, you shall not budge. You go not till I set you up a glass, where you may see the inmost part of you. Explanation. Hamlet blocks her from leaving. He wants to force her to face her own sins, to hold a mirror up to her soul, just as he said the purpose of a play was to hold a mirror up to nature. Lines 34 to 43. The Murder of Polonius. Gertrude. What wilt thou do? Thou wilt not murder me? Help, help, ho! Explanation. Gertrude, terrified by his demeanor, cries for help. Polonius. Behind the arras. What ho? Help, help, help! Explanation. Polonius, from his hiding place, echoes her cry for help. Hamlet, drawing his sword. How now? A rat? Dead for a ducat, dead. Explanation. Hamlet hears the voice behind the curtain. Believing it to be Claudius, he draws his sword and stabs through the tapestry, killing Polonius. His action is swift and violent, a stark contrast to his hesitation in the previous scene. Polonius. Behind the arras. Oh, I am slain. Explanation. Polonius dies, his final words giving away his identity. Gertrude. O me, what hast thou done? Hamlet. Nay, I know not. Is it the king? Explanation. Hamlet reveals that he thought he was killing Claudius. This is a crucial moment. He has finally acted, but he has killed the wrong person. Lines 44 to 99. The confrontation continues. Hamlet. Thou wretched, rash, intruding fool, farewell. I took thee for thy better, take thy fortune. Thou find'st to be too busy is some danger. Explanation. Hamlet, seeing Polonius's body, is dismissive and insulting. He calls Polonius a wretched, rash, intruding fool, and says he got what he deserved for being a busybody. Gertrude. Oh, speak to me no more. These words like daggers enter in mine ears. No more, sweet Hamlet. Explanation. Gertrude is horrified by Hamlet's words and actions. She says his words are like daggers in her ears, echoing Hamlet's earlier vow to speak daggers to her. Hamlet. A bloody deed. Almost as bad, good mother, as kill a king and marry with his brother. Explanation. Hamlet accuses her directly of complicity in the murder of King Hamlet. This is the first time he has been so explicit with her. Gertrude. As kill a king? Explanation. Gertrude's reaction here is debated by scholars and actors. Is she genuinely shocked? Does she know about the murder? Her feigned ignorance seems to suggest she is not aware of the crime. Hamlet. "Aye, lady, it was my intention, and I am sorry for it." / "Here is the portrait of my father, and here is the portrait of his brother." Explanation. Hamlet now forces her to compare two portraits, one of his father, the other of Claudius. He describes his father as a perfect man, a model of a king. Hyperion's curls, the front of Jove himself. Hamlet. "Here is your husband, like a mildewed ear, blasting his wholesome brother. Have you eyes?" Explanation. He then describes Claudius as a mildewed ear, a corrupt and diseased thing. He asks her how she could have gone from his father to such a man. Lines 100 to 117. The ghost reappears. Gertrude. "O Hamlet, speak no more. Thou turn'st mine eyes into my very soul, and there I see such black and grained spots as will not leave their tinct." Explanation. Gertrude is deeply affected by Hamlet's words. She admits that he has made her look into her soul and that she sees her sins, which are so deeply ingrained they cannot be washed away. Hamlet. "A king of shreds and patches." Explanation. Hamlet is in the middle of another rant when the ghost of his father appears. Hamlet. "Save me, and hover o'er me with your wings, you heavenly guards. What would your gracious figure?" Explanation. Hamlet is the only one who can see the ghost. He is scared and asks the ghost what he wants. Gertrude. "Alas, he's mad." Explanation. Gertrude, who cannot see the ghost, thinks Hamlet is hallucinating and is truly mad. Ghost. "Do not forget, this visitation is but to whet thy almost blunted purpose. But look, amazement on thy mother sits. Oh, step between her and her fighting soul. Speak to her, Hamlet." Explanation. The ghost's purpose is to remind Hamlet of his mission to seek revenge. He also tells Hamlet to comfort his mother, who is now in a state of terror. Lines 118 to 176. The aftermath. Hamlet. "Why, what would you, and what are you? A vision? Or is it a madness that you are the son / of a king and queen and have a crown on your head?" Explanation. Hamlet, now seemingly talking to an empty space, tries to convince his mother of the ghost's existence. Gertrude. "This is the very coinage of your brain. This bodiless creation ecstasy is very cunning in." Explanation. Gertrude is completely convinced that Hamlet is mad and that the ghost is a figment of his imagination. Hamlet. "Lay not that flattering unction to your soul, that not your trespass, but my madness speaks." Explanation. Hamlet pleads with her not to deceive herself. He says her sin, trespass, is the real issue, not his madness. Hamlet. "Confess yourself to heaven, repent what's past, avoid what is to come, and do not spread the compost on the weeds, to make them ranker." Explanation. He urges her to confess her sins, repent, and stop sleeping with Claudius. Do not spread the compost on the weeds. Hamlet. "I'll lug the guts into the neighbor room. / mother good night. Indeed, this counselor's is now most still, most secret, and most grave, who was in life a foolish prating knave." Explanation. Hamlet, now seemingly calm, drags Polonius's body out of the room. He ends the scene with a cold, mocking epitaph for Polonius, a man he has just killed. This scene is a dramatic climax. Hamlet finally acts, but his rashness leads to the death of an innocent man. He forces his mother to confront her guilt and is reminded of his mission by the ghost, but his actions also confirm to her that he is insane. The scene leaves the audience with a sense of dread and inevitability. The murder of Polonius ensures that Hamlet can never return to his old life, and it sets in motion the events that will lead to the tragic ending of the play.